up until this point, brewing wasn't particularly well documented. I think a lot of Melbourne wasn't particularly well documented as well. And we're looking at this as, not just a moment in time for brewing, but a moment in time for the whole of Melbourne. To my knowledge, this is probably the first attempt at a historical recreation of a beer from Melbourne from this period, probably Victoria, Australia more broadly.
Is this what would have happened then?
Oh, these products would have been commercially available,
Then, yeah. But one of the things you're doing here, which is very precise control, must have been very difficult to achieve.
I think, this is still a big fancy bucket,
The recipe is one thing, and that's an intrinsic document to making this beer, but the other thing is getting a comprehension and understanding of the process involved. Very different steps, very different ways of thinking, and obviously a very different result.
There it is.
Oh, look at that. Oh, God, that
His
it's like
actual
looking
handwriting from 1875 to 1880 somewhere.
like looking on something from an Egyptian tomb. In terms
Yeah, it is
of
pretty much.
deciphering
It is
isn't
pretty much like that.
We've positioned ourselves with a bit of decipher the recipe, put it together, see what comes out. As we go further into the process, we're getting a much more rounded idea of what's actually going to happen. So, today we've got the wort, we'll be going across to the fermenter. We know what colour it is, we've got a much better estimate of the alcohol content that it's going to have. Some of those basic ideas that people just take for granted. You've got that industrial movement where you're going ahead from very archaic practices, starting to see the genesis of more modern practices. Science is taking leaps ahead. The innovation that we're seeing in this recipe and some of the patents that are associated with Mr. Terry's other work, he was really at the cutting edge of things at this particular time. It's not every day that you get to take this moment from the past and make it alive again.